Sling TV, built to save you money and bring you the channels you love, including ESPN, AMC, HGTV, and more. Watch your favorite comedies, dramas, suspense thrillers, news, sports, and more for just $35 a month. And your first month is only $10. Sign up now and start streaming right away on your TV, phone, and tablet. Take control of your TV solution with Sling. It makes TV flat out better. Go to sling.com to sign up now and get your first month for just $10.
Thank you for calling 423-GET-FAME. That's 423-GET-FAME. I would tell you to leave a message, but the truth is, I don't really care. I've had this hotline open for months, and not one of you jokers have what it takes to be famous like me. So leave a message if you want, but don't expect a call back. I've got way more important things to do than to waste my time on losers like Masquerita Sagrada and you all. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Grave Consequences podcast. My name is Caleb Baldwin. You can follow me on Twitter at IamCalebB. Follow Greg on Twitter at XMaserati. Follow the show on Twitter at GC_cast. Of course, check us out. You can search for us. You're listening to it right now, of course. But if somehow, maybe you're listening on the Social Suplex Podcast Network, which you can search for on your favorite podcasting app, or you're listening on the Grave Consequences Podcast tab, which you can find also on your favorite podcasting app. If you want to hear my voice more and you want to hear me talk about other things like hero movies and hero shows and the like, check out Eddie and Caleb's Hero Cast. We have new episodes that drop every Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite. And today we're here to review Season 2, Episode 19 of Lucha Underground. The title of that episode was, whatever you want to say, Judgment Day. I feel like this may be a reference to a certain James Cameron movie. Would I be wrong, Greg?
No, you're right. I can see how it's strongly associated with Avatar.
That's really good. Hey, folks, again, it is October 7th. This is the second part of our doubleheader once again. And, we're not, fatigued or anything. Like, we're pretty well good to go. It's only 6:30 here in Oklahoma, so it's only 7:30 in Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't remember what state you live in. I just want to completely dox you. What's your social security number?
I'll put it on the Twitter.
Okay, good. Don't forget to send your nudes as well.
There, everyone has them. They're free. My OnlyFans is free. In fact, I actually pay you to subscribe.
Yes. Like here's $3 and a dick pic.
Yeah.
So, dude, we're going right into the action on this episode. The first match of the night is Son of Havoc versus Daga. I almost said Drago. Pardon me. But yeah, Daga, Son of Havoc, rather, is riding the open road alone. And it's like, okay, I get it. Like, him and Ivelisse weren't necessarily on the best of terms, but I feel like, it's almost like a marriage that splits up after a kid dies or something. I don't know. Because Angelico's out of the picture right now. Like, I get it. But it's like, you're still a pretty good duo, Why are you completely tearing away from each other? It's weird.
Was she injured?
I don't believe so. They didn't say so anyway. I mean, they didn't put that in the story or anything. It's weird.
I was actually waiting for. I'm expecting a certain angle for Havoc to start soon. It might even happen in season 3. But we've already talked about how all three of them kind of peaked.
Yes.
Already.
Sadly, they have already peaked.
Not because they got worse. They're great wrestlers. Even Ivelisse with all her personal problems with people backstage, but it's weird. I'm gonna do my best not to start talking about AEW, but I've been feeling that way about Jack Evans lately. He hasn't looked like he does here in a while.
Yeah,
He's been in the main event recently, and I was like, wow, and he did great, but I was like, man, like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. But hey, like I said, first match of the night, Son of Havoc versus Daga. And I mean, we're talking two young blue chippers here. And by the way, I just want to point out real quick, Daga rocking those blue tights and white boots. Anytime someone rocks white boots with bright colors, it's like, that's always a hit, dude. Always a hit.
It took a while for the effects of the Attitude Era to go away, where people could wear white boots again.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, a lot of black boots, man, or like the Jeff Jarrett short boots.
It took a bit. I mean, that was also with just fashion in general. It took a while for it to be cool to not wear baggy clothes, or it's a sign of the times where he couldn't have done it like 10 years ago from when it aired.
No, definitely couldn't have done that in 2006. I mean,
no.
The only exception, I guess, was Triple H who was doing it, but that's it.
But it stood out when he did it too.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, like one of the biggest reasons people remember Mania 20, besides how awesome that main event is, it's like, oh, Triple H is wearing white boots right now? The hell?
It was weird.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. But hey, this match was very, very good. And what's funny is like Daga was doing really good, and even like, maybe he had an illegal choke in or an illegal submission, but he had the advantage, and then Cobra Moon showed up.
Yeah, they're still going with that angle.
Yeah, to support Daga, or to what's the word? To woo Daga.
She's trying. I mean, this match the whole point was to make Havoc look good, which makes it even weirder because of how in the wind he is even after this.
Yeah.
And Daga is so good that he doesn't need the win to showcase how good. Like his match with Cage, he lost clean, but he still looked good. He's showing his potential. He's doing a good job. Like maybe it's one of those things where he comes in, so he's going to make the previous wrestlers look good. Because you always have the argument like, oh, why are you going to bring someone in and have them lose right away? They don't always have to win their first match. You could do it like this.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Daga even hit a Yakuza kick. Like, okay, Havoc was in the second rope, so not the top rope. But his head was towards the second rope, not the top rope. But Yakuza kick is gonna hurt no matter how you're bent. It's not gonna matter.
And that actually,
that actually got a 2 count, by the way. Son of Havoc goes to the top rope. He's gonna go for the shooting star press, but Cobra Moon holds his leg, so he can't do it. Daga comes in, lands a step-up kick, a really good step-up kick, by the way. They fight atop the ropes. Daga is sent down with a modified Gory Buster, as Matt Striker called it. And Son of Havoc lands the shooting star press and gets the win. And I wrote down, Cobra Moon is a simp for Daga.
Yeah, because he pushes her down, too. People started booing him for that. Yeah. Because even though she's a weirdo, they were like, you're pushing her. Like, he's like pushing her he's mushing her by her face and pushing her to the ground.
Yeah, he was mashing her, but he does that. Man, real quick, it is like big ups to Thunder Rosa for the glow up as a performer. It's like Cobra Moon sucks, dude.
Yeah, I don't think she was supposed to be good though in her defense.
No, that's fair. It's fair.
It's a very I'm trying to think of a better word than pigeonholed, but it's a very specific role she plays.
Yeah, she's hamstringed to be more a character than anything.
Exactly, and I will take a Cobra Moon over Abaddon any day.
You mean Abandon, but either way.
Whatever she is.
After this, we have a vignette featuring the former Trios champions of the Lucha Gods, Rey Mysterio Jr., El Dragon Azteca Jr., and Prince Puma. Azteca comes up on Rey, like, dude, Matanza's in his cage. Where Bully Ray sends bad fans. We should go kill him right now. And Ray's like, no, dude, like, your mentor would be ashamed of you if he heard you wanting to get revenge like this. And Azteca hits him with, "How the hell would you know? You never talked to him."
Got him.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah.
I just like how Dragon Azteca just really wants to kill a dude.
Yeah, well, he wants to kill the guy that he thinks is responsible for the death of his mentor.
He's sitting up in his room, looking at his, Led Zeppelin posters, listening to Rage Against the Machine, how I could just kill a man. And Rey Mysterio finds his pot stash. He's like, "Where'd you learn how to do this?" "I learned it from watching you, Dad." Didn't they do a segment with Savannah too right before this, or was it right after?
I think it's later on in this episode.
And I get confused because she's like never on. Like, is she still playing him, or is she legit think that Dragon Azteca killed?
Okay, yeah. No, the
I'm so
Black
lost.
Lotus. Sorry, the Black Lotus segment is later on in the episode.
When we get to it, you gotta explain to me like what's going on, because they don't go to it every 7 episodes, if that.
Yeah, I will. We'll rehash it again, and I will explain.
She's the Nathan Jones of Lucha Underground.
How fucking stupid her character is in this show. But yeah, and Puma, sees this spat going on. He's like, "What the hell, guys? Like, what's going on?" And Ray's like, "It's none of your business, pal." And he puts his hand on his chest, and that's when we get the growling sound effect. It's like, oh shit.
But Puma was in the right, and they're setting up
too.
Yeah, they're setting up the dissension between all three of them, but like Ray's a dick to him for no reason.
Yeah. He's like, "Dude, it is my business. You guys are in my trio. This is definitely my business.
You're always trying to kill somebody. You're always arguing about it. Like, can we just have the damn match? Kill whoever you want afterwards."
Come on now. Exactly. So Puma's a bit testy.
A little bit.
Puma's a bit testy already.
Justifiably.
But hey, yeah, absolutely. We've got our rematch from last week for the Trios Championship. We've got the Lucha Gods now challenging the team of PJ Black, Jack Evans, and Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. Worldwide Underground. I wrote down some commentary and some quotes from Jack Evans as well. Here's a couple from Jack. "I swear no refs can count to 3 here. That's after a 2 count and a kick out." As Ray is trying to crawl to his corner for the hot tag, Jack is going, "I think I can, just taunting the shit out of him. At one point, Matt Striker, because they're all wearing these red bandanas, and Matt Striker says, like, "Yeah, with the way Johnny has his tied up, he looks like a Shriner."
I mean, I remember they were selling those headbands, and I'm mad at myself for never getting one. Weren't they?
I mean, as a novelty, I bet it'd be nice, but like, where the hell are you gonna wear that?
Everywhere. Job interviews, funerals, weddings.
Yeah.
Birth of my child.
That's just like a Redeem D's nut shirt. Where am I not gonna wear that?
And my No Fear tattoo or card decal.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Calvin pissing on something.
Dude,
that's just classy.
I love that, like, one of the things to, like, get over to the point where it actually transcended wrestling was just a Spanish guy saying "no fear."
Yep. And it's 100% over.
Yeah. Absolutely. Dude, fucking George Kittle, 49er tight end, loves it, man. So I have to love it. Like, even if I didn't already like the Lucha Brothers, by law, I have to love it as a Niners fan. So, either way. Enough about George Kittle. Enough about the Lucha Brothers. They're not important to what we're talking about here. This is a trios title rematch. There's a lot of back and forth. And Jack, by the way, Jack Evans even hits a 630 on Puma for a 2 count, which was awesome.
I wrote down that this match was, if anything, better than the previous match.
Well, it's hard to say because they're 2 very different matches. True. At one point, because Marty Elias, Jesus Christ, like, I feel so bad for the guys that are wrestling referees, because in kayfabe, your character is borderline simple, okay? Because, like, you've got to get easily distracted. Like, I think there's like 3 or 4 different times where someone's like, hey Marty, I got something. and he's just like turning around and like, all of a sudden the Technico's like holding his groin again. What are they doing? And it's like, well, you can't call what you don't see, so whatever.
Which makes it always confusing for me when the Guerreros do that spot where they hit the other guy with a chair, but then they throw it on themselves to make it look like.
Any sense. It doesn't make any sense that a ref would then be like, "Hey, yeah, that's a DQ."
They were laying it on pretty thick, but that kind of laid. This is why I like the match, is because they told the story of They showed Puma getting frustrated with his teammates, and then Puma's getting frustrated with the ref because the ref is just letting his teammates get kicked in the dick, including himself, and he's like, "Yo, like." I hate to use the word refreshing, but I was like, yeah, man, like I can't be mad at Puma because like that's some bullshit.
No, I would do exactly what he did. But before we talk about what he did, real quick, Matt Stryker said Marty Elias is calling this like Ed Hockley. Ed Hockley, I know you don't watch a lot of football, do you?
No.
He is like one of the most well-known referees in football. And typically if you're well-known as a referee, it's not for anything good. Like a good ref, I should barely know your name.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Prince Puma is like, he's just pissed because like so many people are getting kicked in the balls on his side, including him, and it's happening so many times, and he's just done with it. And Johnny says something. Do you know what Johnny said?
I didn't write it down, so no, I don't remember.
Well, Johnny definitely said something, or he was like, poking and prodding. And Prince Puma, ultimately, he doesn't say this, but he had to think, fuck this, and just kicks Johnny in the dick.
Yeah, and it was great.
It was great, because Johnny's like, oh, you're a loser, and then he kicks him in the dick, and Johnny just doubles over in pain. And Marty, it takes Marty a second to register what he's seeing, and Marty immediately, after he registers it, he rings the bell, waves to the bell to be rung, and still your trio's champions by disqualification.
Some coffee's fast, but not fresh. Some coffee's fresh, but only after a long wait. Speedway coffee is made fresh at the push of a button, hot or iced, so you can have fresh coffee your way, right away. Find a store near you at speedway.com/locations.
Shop on eBay this holiday season to get more for your dough on stand mixers, or get more for your buck on this season's hottest tech and gaming gear. And on eBay, you can even get more.
Oh, wow.
I know, so festive.
Pizzazz for your party. Make your holiday party one to remember. Get more because you save more on premium brands with eBay's exclusive deals. Get more when you get it on eBay.
Qualification, Worldwide Underground. And okay, look. Rey Mysterio is like, oh, you lost your temper. Look. I'm putting myself in Prince Puma's spot here. Like, okay, we lost the match. And you know what, Ray? I'm sorry we did. At this point, it's done. Let's just beat the shit out of him. Let's play dirty a little, man. Let's have a little fun. You saw what happened. I kicked him in the balls one time. He's dead. Let's have a little fun. And Ray's just like backing him off. And Worldwide Underground is chastising him, but they're too afraid to do anything because at this point, they know Prince Puma, who's typically a man of high morale, is like at the fuck it point. Like if you looked at him cross, he would probably kick you in the dick right now if he weren't being restrained.
Well, they're not street fighters. Like they don't fight unless they have the edge, and they're a man down.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And Johnny's like John again. It's like, dude, you just got kicked in the dick. You can barely stand. Johnny's John again. Puma's again, just like, fuck this. He goes to kick Johnny. Who eats the kick, Greg?
Oh, I missed it. I missed that.
Taya eats the kick, man. She always eats the kick for him, dude. Oh my God. What a segment though, dude. Like that was enjoyable for different reasons, but
yep. I fully it's hard. Usually that's bullshit. Usually it just pisses you off, but it was a great because they don't need the trios belts.
No, No, they're beyond that at
Underground,
this rate.
their heel faction, they kind of need some momentum.
Yeah.
And they didn't win. They didn't defeat the faces. They just I hate to say it, but outsmarted them.
They did. Absolutely, yeah. Matt Striker even pointed out, like, hey, they operate on intellect without emotion.
Well, some intellect, but I mean, and they're pushing for
yeah,
a different...
Jack Evans is pretty stupid.
Yeah, they're pushing for a different. There's another storyline they're gonna segment out from here, and they're gonna focus on Dragon Azteca looking for the sexy ninja lady to help him murder a man.
Oh my god. Okay, so after this we see not Lotus, but Azteca going down to the cage where the bad fans are kept, and Matanza, and he's getting ready to, I don't know, do something to him. But it's like, hand to hand, what the hell are you going to do to Matanza? Matanza's much bigger than you are. But Lotus stops him anyway, and she's like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, cut it out. And Azteca's like, dude, like, he killed your parents. And Black Lotus, the dumbest character of all time, is like, no, El Dragon Azteca did.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, Azteca Jr., all he had to say was, who told you that?
They're both stupid.
Because Dario did. Like,
and she just believed them.
She openly, she's like very willingly believed a man who had her kidnapped for months on end. It doesn't make any sense at all.
I can only assume she couldn't wrestle, and they had to just keep pushing the storyline back further and further, like they do with Ivelisse and someone else, for different reasons, because Ivelisse kept getting hurt. But it's also like, I believe the luchador killed my family, not the man dressed like a slasher villain that has blood all over him, and is clearly possessed by a demon. Has to be kept in a cage. Like, she's just, you're asking a lot. This is like a gag The Simpsons would do, where it's obvious to the audience that you're an idiot, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's like any bad horror movie character, where it's like, for a horror movie plot that is flimsy to last more than like 10 minutes, characters have to be very, very stupid.
Incredibly stupid.
And that's kind of where Greg's getting tired. That's kind of where Black Lotus is at this point in time.
She's the Nathan Jones of Lucha Underground.
Dude, yeah, enough of this crap. I wish they would just scrap this storyline. And sadly, they don't. They see this through to its crescendo, as long as that may take. And it takes a while. But they see it through to its crescendo, unfortunately. But hey, enough about that for now. Up next, we have, for the Lucha Underground Championship, we have the defending champion, Matanza Cueto, versus the Machine, Cage. Or as I put it, Kong versus Godzilla.
This was definitely a kaiju battle.
Yes, definitely. Sadly, Brian Cage was Kong. Dude, there is one point where Cage and Matanza are just going back and forth with suplexes. And with each suplex, the dude's just firing up, like, right after he gets the suplex.
This is like a wrestling game where you always have your finisher.
Yes.
And they just keep... I mean, you made the comment about me being tired. Like, I normally, by the time I get to the second episode, I'm normally like, ugh, I want this over. Because I love Lucha Underground, but I have to... Anytime I watch it, I have to... that's time I could be spending watching other newer wrestling. Right?
Yeah.
Or doing anything else. And I love doing it, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you're watching multiple episodes in a row and you're like, all right, especially if it's a Chavo segment or if it's a Savannah segment, you're just like, what the and I can't fast forward because my job. But what I have to do is I have to review it,
Yeah.
And I think, me and you, and I bet some of the other people on our podcast network, when you watch a show to review it, it kind of can take some of the fun out.
It really can. You're not wrong at all.
It can, because you can't play on your phone while you're doing it. You can't just get into it. You got to pay attention to everything because you're trying to talk about it.
Yeah.
But this match, dude, because me and you, we say we didn't like any of the Matanza matches. Fucking awesome match, bro.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Matanza throwing around little dudes was not entertaining. Matanza in kaiju battles, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I think, and I wrote this down, but I think we got to give Jeff Cobb some props here because, this is range of a character. Yes, he's doing suplexes like Jeff Cobb does, but he also starts going for the eyes. He starts choking. Like he wrestles like, aside from like, being a suplex machine like a Taz, he plays like a slasher villain, and I think he does a great job. He has range as a wrestler. He doesn't have to just be Jeff Cobb.
And the way he will even just grip his hands, like he'll grip like he's like trying to take like chunks out of people. He wrestles like a killer. That's the thing.
I think Jeff Cobb deserves a lot of. We're going to be critical of Matanza. Yeah. And I also have other theories that I watching this that I realized why we didn't like it because we liked Milmer. We like Mil Mortes. We like Pentagon. Yeah. We like Cage. We don't. When this happened, we didn't want to see some new guy come in that had just an invincible Undertaker gimmick and just not squash him, but that's what it felt like when we were fans and we were watching it. And the other problem, which we'll get to at the end of the match, is his finisher. I realized his finisher compared to Germans, compared to release suplexes, overhead belly-to-belly suplexes, compared to the pump handle sit-out X Factor that Cage does. The Tour of the Islands, it's a cool move. It's a terrible finisher. It kind of is. Yeah. It's like the world's strongest slam. It's just maybe it would in real life if he did it to us, we'd be fucked. Yeah, our sternum would be crushed. Hurt. Yeah. But watching it, it doesn't look good.
No, you're right. You're right, sir. Pardon me. Okay, at one point Cage lands a standing moonsault for 2, and it's someone's Cage's size. That's amazing.
Dude, it was a great moonsault too.
Yeah, absolutely. It was crisp, dude. Matanza at one point goes for a standing moonsault headbutt.
I hated that.
But it's it was like you weren't even remotely. The only thing you were close to was his knee, which you quote unquote got hit by. It's like that didn't look close at all.
I mean, it was kind of out of character. Like, it's a lucha show and they're gonna do flippy stuff, but like a moonsault headbutt is stupid.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's just a stupid move. Like, I don't know anyone.
Well, you're adding an extra step to a headbutt is all you're doing.
It's a headbutt with extra steps. It's just, it looked dumb. It looked like it looks like a botch even though you're doing it right.
Yeah, exactly. Matanza at one point gets a near fall off of a sit-out powerbomb. By the way, at one point, Matanza tries to transition into the Wrath of the Gods, but Cage counters it, and he rolls him into an inside cradle, and that gets a 2 count. And Cage eventually is just throwing everything at Matanza, and he tries to go with the discus lariat, and that gets countered by Matanza, who lands the Wrath of the Gods, and that ends the match, and Matanza Cueto is still your Lucha Underground champion.
And I unfortunately, I think the problem is Jeff Cobb's never really been a top guy, except for maybe he had the TV title in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
He needs a better finisher. It's a great signature move. Like, it's a great, get the crowd pop move.
Dude, basic choke slam would be a good finisher for Matanza.
You know what? You're absolutely right, because that would fit his character. And it kind of hurts, and I think that's what hurt it when we first originally watched it.
Yeah.
And it does, and these matches end in kind of a whimper because of it, because it's like, he's doing overhead Germans, they're doing moonsaults, they're doing power bombs, and then Tour of Islands is just kind of like, it's the world's strongest man. I like Matanza's and Jeff Cobb's, like, he does the same thing, the spinning, but with a backdrop. Yeah. I love that, but it's still unfortunately not a great finisher, or even that would actually be better.
Yeah, like, you're not wrong.
I'll compare it to someone that's probably smaller than Jeff Cobb. I think Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe is probably about same height, maybe a little smaller. Yeah.
All right, which is a better move, the Tour of the Islands or the Muscle Buster?
The Muscle Buster for sure. 10 days a week.
What's better than the Tour of the Islands? The Tour of the Islands or a power bomb? Any power bomb.
Any power bomb.
See, and I hate ripping on Jeff Cobb because we just said, and we definitely mean it, he's great. This shows he has great range. It's just and this is Monday morning quarterbacking, whatever you want to call it. Yes, armchair quarterback. It is that, but it's just we got to point out, like, this was a miss. The finisher was a bad. Someone should have been like, this is after the first couple of matches of seeing it. Someone had to have been like, hey, the crowd's not really, because the crowd's not buying it either.
No,
like, they're booing not just because he's a heel, but because the finish is kind of weak. And I think someone should have been
go away. Yeah.
So one of the agents should have been like, hey, let's end this with a bridging German suplex because those are fucking tight, and you do a great German suplex. Dude, German suplex are, I hate to say a basic move, but they're fine finishers.
Yeah. No, you're right. And before we go real quick, I did also want to point out there were points where Matanza was like actively on top of Cage, just choking him. And there was another point where Cage was on top of Matanza and just nailing like hammer fist on him. And it's just like, okay, this is like bowling shoe ugly kaiju battle, and it's amazing.
It was great. And Cage, just like with Chavo, this time they actually, Matanza actually let Cage look strong a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, yeah, Matanza gave to Cage, and that's, that helped out. I think, and it's a low bar, but like, I think this was Matanza's best match, at least so far.
I think I'd agree. What were the other good matches he had? Well, Mill was good, better than I remember, but yeah, this is better than his match with Mill. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and that was really good too.
It's like he beat Phoenix, but it's like, And the Pentagon match was just story, but whatever.
I would say that I've done, like, when we did a 180 on, was it Alberto last season?
Hernandez.
I've done a 180 on Matanza. Not that I think he's as good as Hernandez was.
Yeah.
Because Hernandez was a goddamn present.
Yes.
But I definitely think Matanza was good.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. But hey, folks, again, and nothing after the match either, right?
No.
Okay, good, because I didn't write anything down.
What do you want to grade it?
Yeah, we're gonna grade this before we get out of here. Man, that main event was really cool. The trios title match was a good story. Like, I empathize with the Puma character a lot right now. I'm going to give this an even B. So just a little lower than what I gave last week's episode.
See, the crazy thing is I'm giving this one A because it was the second episode in a row. And I thought a lot of it maybe wasn't better, but it kind of it went a little bit further than the episode that preceded it. And it built upon it so well that I give it an A, because if I can be engaged in it and enjoy it, after another 45 minutes of the previous show, I think that's kind of a good sign. And Matanza's Jeff Cobb's great. Cage's, have we ever had a bad grade for a Cage show? Probably, but
I mean, maybe episodes where it's like Cage was in a 4-way or whatever, but it's like where Cage is like a prime focus of the show, probably not.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very talented. But you don't want to hear that from me because you'd never hear the end of it. Guys, thank you for listening. It is always appreciated. I got the plugs out of the way at the beginning of this episode, so that's good. But I want you to remember that if you find yourself in a wrestling ring with a guy who looks like a knockoff of Jason Voorhees, you might suffer grave consequences.
You should be saving for the future, but savings accounts suck, and investing can be scary. We combine the ease of savings with the real returns of investing. We call it Save Vesting, and it's only available in our new app, Stairs. Stairs offers 4 to 6% returns, no fees, and you can withdraw anytime. Do your future a favor. Visit stairsapp.com today.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.